Good morning. My name is Eric Donaldson, and I am a graduating senior majoring in public relations and advertisement, and I will be your MC for this morning. We are going to start this morning's program with some remarks, and then we'll hear from our keynote speaker. Please welcome our department chair, Dr. Francine Edwards.
Good morning again, and welcome. It is a real pleasure and a great honor to be serving as your chair and to be here celebrating 13 years of mentorship, connections, and academic excellence at the annual MCOM Day Symposium. Before I continue, I want to say how wonderful you guys look and acknowledge all of the members of the Mass Communications faculty. Dr. Esketti Hagos, Dr. Mina Gurman, Dr. Marcia Taylor, Vince Celli, Ava Perrine, Dr. Ray, Professor Olani Enrique, and even though she's not here, she is the backbone, Miss Christy Kale. So we got a little clap. I would also acknowledge our dean who is here, who will come up and make some remarks in a few minutes. Without the faculty and staff support from the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences, from events, and from our student workers, none of this would be possible. I would also like to say a big thank you to any of the students who volunteered or who are volunteering with Dr. Taylor and Mrs. Perrine throughout the day. This is a year of transformation and collaborative work. Colleges across the U.S. are dealing with some difficult changes. However, the digital landscape provides those of us who teach and learn in the humanities an opportunity to continue to be innovative. Looking at the trends, I am personally confident that over the next few years, the MCOM department will see partnerships, a significant rise in our students pursuing master's and even PhD degrees, and a more visible digital thumbprint. This resonates with the targets, the missions, and the vision of DSU. Today, you, our guests, and faculty are showing a commitment to educating and empowering the next generation of industry professionals. The vital role of digital and mass media is connected to everything from politics to economics to global engagement. Occasions such as this allow us to help our students and to make their mark on the world. Today, you are provided with an event-filled experience, one in which you can walk away with the connections that you need to take yourself to the next level. Again, I say, isn't that funny? Again, I say welcome and let the engagement begin.
Thank you, Dr. Edwards. I'd like to ask our dean, Dr. Marshall Stevenson, to come to the podium to make a few remarks.
Good morning once again. This is an exciting time. The weather's nice for one. We've got a great day to come out. Students, faculty, and staff, as well as alumni. These are the key ingredients to make any event successful at Delaware State University. And this annual event is very significant because, as you can see, it brings students, professionals, and others together to begin the process of networking and really jump-starting your career. So it's a very important event in the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. I want to especially thank Dr. Edwards and the faculty and the students who have assisted with this. And this is Dr. Edwards' first year as chair. And I really want to congratulate and compliment her on the excellent job she has done putting this all together. Dr. Edwards wears a lot of hats at Delaware State University. And again, I want to compliment her for doing a great job in balancing all the different responsibilities that she has. Today will be important. You will walk away from here impressed, encouraged, and inspired by the speakers that you hear and those that you interact with, fellow students and others. This is a significant year in this country's history. We have a presidential election, and perhaps more than any other election, the media is important because the media can make or break the particular candidates. And we have one candidate who is a showman, don't we? And whether he's serious or not, he has everyone's attention. And so rather than talk about what political side of the aisle you are on, it's important as a media person to be able to seize this moment, an historic moment, and understand how your discipline and your career are shaped by historic events such as this. So again, I want to thank you all for coming. I will be in and out because I have various responsibilities such as Dr. Edwards, but again, welcome and congratulations on your event.
Thank you, Dean Stevenson. I now have the pleasure of introducing today's keynote speaker. Stacey Evans Morgan is a film, TV producer, writer, director, and author, president, CEO of SimPro, Inc., Strut Entertainment, a production company creating content for television, film, and new media platforms. She is currently in the production of her new indie TV project, a romantic comedy anthology series entitled In Full Bloom. Ms. Evans Morgan is a CEO, co-executive producer, and writer for TV One's first scripted television series, Love That Girl. And she served for 5 seasons as a producer and writer of the UPN Paramount television hit series, The Parkers, which stars Oscar winner Monique. Morgan has also written for the UPN series One-on-One, Warner Bros. TV, The Jamie Foxx Show, and she has written and directed several stage plays and wrote a BET arabesque made for television film. Ms. Evans Morgan is an Emmy awarded and NAACP Image Award nominated television producer, producing, and she is here with us today to deliver a keynote address and a special masterclass on television production. Please welcome Ms. Stacey Evans Morgan.
Hey, I'm Stacey Evans Morgan, television writer, producer, director, wife, mom, Girl Scout co-troop leader, basically overall superwoman.
Each of us has to make some sacrifices to make the world a better place.
The entertainment industry has changed so much, and I feel like the paradigm has really shifted because people are taking control in their own hands. You can start your own YouTube channel. You can get hands on a really good camera. You write your script. I say point, shoot, click, and put it up. I think that is probably the most important information or advice that I could give, is to understand the business of the business. Now, what that business is, that's your business. I don't know, I'm not getting in your business, I'm staying in my business, staying in my lane. That's another thing, stay in your lane. But that's a whole nother episode. So. There you go. Wow, did you enjoy that? I was like, stay in your own lane. We're going to talk about that later. Wow, I am so filled right now. I traveled 3,000 miles to come see you today. Thank you. Thank you very much. No, I am really, really honored to be here. But before I get started, let me put on my little magic readers. To the faculty, staff, distinguished guests, Dr. Francine Edwards, and you, the dynamic students of Delaware State University, I bring you warm greetings from the West Coast, and thank you kindly for the equally warm and enthusiastic invitation to present the keynote address for MCOM Day 2016. You can clap there. A popular proverb reminds us that our gifts and our talents bring us before great men and women. How many of you have heard that? So I really am honored that my gifts and my talents have brought me before you today. Now, when I was presented with the theme, cracking the color code, increasing minority presence in opportunities in the media, my immediate attention zeroed in on one word, code. Everywhere we look, STEM is at the forefront of all things techno-savvy, and suddenly there is a fascination for the common man to learn to write code. People are learning everywhere that there is something to know about code in order to pursue careers in computer fields, some with the hope of creating the next Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat or what else? What else is out there? Yeah, Periscope, the next one. Wikipedia defines code as a system of rules to convert information. One dictionary definition gives a system of words, letters, figures, or other symbols, especially for the purposes of secrecy. Now, if you think I'm at the wrong conference talking all these things about STEM, remember I mentioned that my ultimate attention went to the word code. So I'm trying to make sure we're all on the same page when we talk about cracking the color code, because in order to crack the color code, you must first understand what it is first. And cracking the color code does not mean anti-white. It means to be overall inclusive of all ethnicities. Now, I've worked in the entertainment industry for nearly 30 years. Yes, I started when I was 3. That's a joke. Okay, you guys didn't get it anyway. You guys are gonna loosen up after a while, because, you know, you got me, you felt me? Right, okay. Anyway, I said for nearly 30 years, I'm really proud of that. And there is a system. Remember I talked about the system with codes. There is a system by which you must follow in order to grow ahead in the industry, and as well as insider secrets that you need to learn. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm gonna be telling stories throughout, so just sit back, enjoy. And first of all, I met Dr. Edwards when we were both producers at BET way back in the good old days. Yes, we were seven-year-old producers, just phenomenons. So, I was a producer on special projects there and doing a lot of freelance things. But I'm from Los Angeles, but I had moved to DC to kind of just personal. I just wanted to just get out of my comfort zone and grow. But I was here for a couple of years, and then I was getting, feeling this calling to come back home. So there was a TV show that was new on the air, and it made me real homesick. Anybody heard of the show Moesha? Moesha, starring Brandy. And I'm this LA girl sitting in my little apartment in Silver Spring, Maryland, and I'm seeing Moesha, and I'm seeing the palm trees and everything that I remembered about LA, and I was like, I want to go home. I was so homesick. But more importantly, I was excited to see yet another TV series featuring a little chocolate girl. And I wanted to go home and write for Moesha. So what did I do? How many of you watch the credits when you watching a TV show or movies? Credit watchers? That's important. That's how you start gathering your contacts right there. So I would watch the credits, and I saw the names of the creators and executive producers, and one just stuck out with me, Sarah Finney. Her name is Sarah Finney Johnson now. And so I wrote a letter to Sarah Finney, because that's what I do. I just feel like I can reach out to whoever I want, and you should do the same. So I wrote a letter to Ms. Finney, and I sent her a copy of a book that I had published. I had had my first book of poetry published. I thought I was doing things, And I wrote a letter just saying, introducing myself and letting her know that I would be coming back to Los Angeles soon. I had no plans to come back to LA. I just said I will be coming back to Los Angeles soon, and I would really love the opportunity to meet with you to discuss my career as a television writer, just like that. And sent her the book, and lo and behold, 2 weeks later, I'm sitting at home, and she calls me from the writer's room at Moesha to acknowledge that she had received the book, and to say that I would love to meet with you when you're back in town and read any scripts. And basically I was asking her for any advice. That was all I needed. I called home. I said, I'm coming back home. I'm moving home. And I told my friends in DC and Maryland, I said, I'm going home to write for Moesha. Because I believed that I could. I believed that I would have that opportunity. Of course, it was not that easy. But that was what drew me back to Los Angeles. Subsequently, when I arrived in LA, I hit the ground running. I really tried to equip myself with as much skills as possible to sharpen up on my writing skills for television. I had written a play before. I had worked on the show Living Single. Anybody know that show, Living Single? I had worked as a writer's assistant on that show. I was an assistant to the executive producer on that show. So I was familiar with script writing and television writing, but I still had a lot to learn. I enrolled in some classes at UCLA. They had these extension courses that you can take. I got involved with a group called the Writers Boot Camp. I immersed myself in the world that I wanted to work in. Those are some key elements. Make sure you're taking those notes. And so Sarah Finney reached out to me, took me lunches and power breakfasts and things of that sort. And she was really encouraging. She became my mentor. And she even invited me several times to come and pitch for Moesha. And none of my stories ever landed. I never sold a script to Moesha. So those dreams were slowly fleeting away. I was like, I guess I'm not going to be writing for Moesha. But the opportunity to be counted, you know, to be considered as a professional writer, that was the door that opened for me. Well, a couple of years later, Moesha had a spin-off show that they were doing that was starring Countess Vaughn, who played Kim Porker, how she says it, Kim Porker, and a new comedian from Baltimore, Maryland, named Monique. Anybody ever heard of her? And so I went to the taping for this show, and I said, I'm writing for this show. I just declared it. I said, I'm writing for this show. And my mentor, she looked out for me. At this time, and I should back up a little bit, before that opportunity came, I kept doing the work, okay? I kept doing the work, writing scripts. I got accepted into the Warner Brothers Writers Program, which was for sitcom writers. I got an agent. I had landed a freelance episode of the Jamie Foxx show. So some really good things had happened on the road to that. So by the time she called me directly, she didn't call my agent, she called me directly and said, can you come in and meet with the producers of the Moesha spinoff because we're gonna be screening new writers for the show. I was like, let me check my schedule. Yes, hello, that's the call that I had been waiting for. Needless to say, I got hired to write on the spinoff series that became The Parkers. Thank you. And, you know, I might add, I mean, it was really just a powerful moment for me. And my mentor, she was the executive producer of the show. She took me to lunch, as she always did, that first week, and she says, I expect you to leave this show. You started as a staff writer, which is considered like a freshman or a baby writer, but I want you to leave this show as a producer. And 5 seasons and 110 episodes later, that's exactly what I did. I left the show as a producer. So I'm really proud of that. And I really owe a lot to my mentor. So how many of you have mentors in this room? It is extremely, I don't see enough hands up. So I see the gentleman in the back. You're never too young or too old to have a mentor to help guide you into that next step. So I'm hoping that the ones who don't have their hands up will decide that they're going to try to find a mentor in the area, professional area in which they wish to work. So, in the entertainment industry and media, there's the old paradigm, and I'm going to reference a lot to the entertainment industry because that's the area that I work in. I do realize that there are journalism majors and there are future anchors sitting in this room and publicists and publicity people and everything like that. But there are also some film TV people. Where are you? Oh, good. Oh, right. Oh, I'm in the right place then. Good. So in the entertainment industry, you know, there's the old paradigm, the old system, the way of doing things, and then there's the new paradigm, okay? And the new paradigm is what I'm excited about, what I want to talk to you about, because we can make our own change and advances, especially in the digital space. We can market, we can write, we can advocate for ourselves in the digital space. And you know, you can advocate for yourself. There are companies such as Lee Daniels Productions. Heard of him? He created the show Empire. There are companies like his company, also networks and studios that are literally trolling the internet, looking for new content. They're looking for who's new out there, who's hot out there. They're doing it on the internet. How many of you are on YouTube? How many of you have YouTube channels? Good. So how many of you know that if you have enough subscribers that your YouTube channel can be monetized? You can get a check, okay? That's powerful. If I knew that when I was in college, my goodness, who knows? But that is some powerful information. So these companies and networks are actively seeking and engaging content of color, and they're trolling the internet to find. There's companies such as Google and Hulu and Netflix and Amazon Prime that are seeking content and have great interest in our stories. On the upside, it is an exciting time in working in the entertainment industry, primarily television and film, and it's exciting because for the first time, content creators of color and diversity in large numbers are getting their voices heard. Their vision is becoming a reality. People of color are increasingly moving into decision-making positions, such as Channing Dungey, who is the first African-American to head a major broadcast network as an entertainment president of ABC. You need to give this sister a hand. She is the president of entertainment. Never in the history has there been anyone, black woman or male, in this position. So that is really powerful. You have Shonda Rhimes, who basically owns Thursday night on ABC with the TGIT. You have the actor filmmaker Nate Park. Anybody here ever heard of him? Nate Parker, he starred in The Great Debaters. Yes, well, most recently, he independently wrote and shot his film, Birth of a Nation. Now, those of you probably don't even know the origin of that original title, which the filmmaker D.W. Griffith wrote way back in the olden days. That was a whole different racist background theme. He basically took the power from the title of that movie, named his movie Birth of a Nation, so that now when you look up Birth of a Nation, it's going to have a whole different meaning. And his story about the Nat Turner slavery revolt, powerful. He independently produced it, took it to Sundance Film Festival, and recently landed a major distribution deal for $17.5 million with Fox Searchlight Films, right? That's a wow factor. He independently took his money, wrote his movie, and directed, and took the festival honors, top honors, and made history. No one in the history of Sundance has ever landed a distribution deal. So now that movie is going to be presented in all of its full feature glory, telling the story of Nat Turner as told by Nate Parker. I've always wanted to see a movie on Nat Turner. I just always thought, wow, that would be very powerful. And so now he's going to do that. So that's cracking the code, wouldn't you say? That's cracking the color code right there. In this technological age, there are numerous outlets for broadcast on television, cable, and the digital frontier, and online via the World Wide Web. Now, if you watched or boycotted this year's Academy Awards ceremony because of the whole lack of diversity, or specifically the whole Oscars, the hashtag Oscarssowhite, you guys heard about that? The Oscarssowhite movement. Many were all up in arms, but in all actuality, it's nothing new. I mean, it really is not. Since the inception of the Oscars. Those of us who've been around long enough, we know we've been excluded more than included. There have been pinnacle moments where people of diverse backgrounds in various categories have received their shine and their just due, but in totality, these moments have been far and few in between in the history of the awards. But when Denzel Washington and Halle Berry took the top honors as Best Actor and Actress, within that same ceremony, Sidney Poitier received an honorary Oscar. It was a historic evening, and Black actors highlighted the 74th Academy Awards, and some people would say that we cracked the color code that year, but that was not necessarily the case. Enter Cheryl Boone Isaacs, who is the first Black president of the Academy, who decided to take swift action this year with the creation of the 2020 initiative, which is basically the initiative is to the goal of doubling the number of diverse members by 2020 and changing membership voting status from lifetime to 10 years with option to renewal. What that really means is the old fogies on the voting committee who didn't open their envelopes to watch the DVD, the screeners for Straight Outta Compton, they're gonna be moved out of the way if they're not active, if they're not really actively participating. That is what happens. I mean, basically, material is sent to them. They can sit in the comfort of their home or their screening rooms at the studios, and they can screen these and they can vote. Well, if a title comes across an old, a person who basically is not interested in the NWA story just by virtue of the title or Straight Outta Compton, that doesn't interest me. I'm not going to screen it. Well, that's a vote that's missed, because how many of you saw it? I mean, most of the hands in here, and it exceeded my expectations. It really did. It was really a good biopic, very telling, gave a lot of insight. And I think people across the board really did enjoy it, but it missed out all the way across the board in terms of nominations. How many of you saw the movie Creed? I mean, so Sylvester Stallone received his just due nomination, but I also felt like Ryan Coogler, the director, he should have been nominated, in my opinion. That's my opinion. So I think this initiative will hopefully open the door. And so that is change, and change is what will ultimately help crack the code. Now you have to understand, especially in the entertainment industry, the ultimate color in the industry that matters is what? Say it again. Is green. That's the ultimate. So advertisers respond to numbers. They respond to data. How many people are watching? They respond to eyeballs, to viewers, to box office, to followers. We need people of color in key positions. So we need not just people in front of the camera, but we need key executives. We need marketing personnel. We need people in distribution, creative positions, we need casting, we need programming directors, etc. And one of the keys to cracking the code in media, in my opinion, is to teach the world who you are through your creative content. Be trendsetters. To crack the code in entertainment is to understand how the industry, the system works. So for example, in my profession, someone comes up with a concept, me. You write the script and you rewrite the script. The script is sold to a studio. The studio makes the movie or the TV show. Then there's a distribution deal that's set in place, and the distribution deal is how the project will be made available. It'll be distributed to the viewers. There's a term in Hollywood called the green light. Anyone ever heard that term? The green light. And basically the green light is when the studio or the powers that be decide we're going to give this project the go. Green meaning go. We're going to give it the green light, okay? So studios on an average may produce 12, 14 movies a year. That's not a lot in terms of thousands of movies that are trying to get made. 12 will get made, right? So that's a part of the old paradigm. But with the new paradigm, instead of waiting to be greenlit, we have the power to greenlight ourselves. I have a friend, Matthew Cherry, and if you're going to be in my masterclass later today, I'm trying to get him to Skype in. Matthew Cherry is a filmmaker. He was a former NFL player, and after that, he decided to get into the film business. But he recently filmed his first feature movie, and from what I understand, historically, this is the first feature film movie shot with iPhone 6. How many of you have iPhones? Put them up in the air. Let's see. Wow, look at it. Here's our crew right here. We could go out and shoot a movie right now with the iPhone 6, with the 4K camera in here. This is high technology. He shot a feature film on iPhone 6, and I saw it, and it was dope. It was really, really good. I mean, he had 6 cameras, and the story basically is called 9 Rides. He recently went to South by Southwest Festival in Austin, Texas, and won top honors there. He landed a feature film deal. He made the movie for maybe $14,000. That's, maybe $14,000. And now he's got this close to $1 million distribution deal from that movie. So he didn't wait for someone to greenlight him. He greenlit himself. He wrote the project, got together some really wonderful actors, people who you will recognize, and they shot it in LA in a matter of 6 days. The story is about an Uber driver on New Year's Eve who gets the unfortunate news that, you know, that his marriage or his impending marriage is on the rocks. So he's driving around depressed, but then he's getting all these stories of people who are hopping in his car. So the movie just follows him the entire night. And it is really, really fascinating. It's beautifully shot. And so I say for those of you who have some aspiration to do some short films, here you go, right here. You have the power in your hand. There's crowdfunding campaigns that can help with that. And he did have a crowdfunding campaign through Kickstarter. But there's Indiegogo, there's Patreon. You guys know these platforms, right? Do you understand what they are? If you do not, I will tell you. Because it is really a wonderful way to raise money to basically fund your vision, the grassroots way. You know, you present like a sizzle reel or a pitch, and you put it out there, and those people who are just patrons of the art or who just want to support you can go to this website and they can kick in $5, $500, whatever it is that they want to help you fund your project. That's pretty cool, right? So instead of feeling like, oh, I'll never get to Hollywood, I'll never be able to do that, you can do that right here in Delaware. You have a film project that you want to do, you have a TV show project that you want to do it. There's nothing stopping you, okay? YouTube is, to me, one of the greatest outlets to distribute your vision to the world instantly. You're broadcasting to the world instantly. So this camera is on me, and if they're gonna post this on YouTube, hello world, hello, konnichiwa, yes, bonjour, this is going out to the world. You guys are laughing, but it is. It's gonna go worldwide with a click. So the things that you put out there, that's why you have to be careful what you do put on the internet, because it's gonna go worldwide. It'll go viral instantly. So it's a great outlet to distribute distribute your vision to the world instantly. Journalists, how many journalists are in the room? How many future reporters? Yes. I don't see it. Okay, let me see the hands. Okay, there you go. Recognize yourself. You know, a journalist can set up on the red carpet of major events and instantly be recognized as entertainment journalists. And perhaps journalists of color, voting power, they can influence voting power when it comes to the Golden Globes, because now you can join the Hollywood Foreign Press. Did you know that? So once you join the Hollywood Foreign Press, then that gives journalists of color voting power for the Golden Globes. That's how you crack the code. I've been on red carpets where you see the major outlets, and then you may see Jackie Johnson Productions. You don't know who Jackie Johnson Production is, but Jackie Johnson got her clearance to be on that red carpet with a camera, with a microphone, with her credentials, and she's able to interview Halle Berry, Denzel Washington, Idris Elba, whoever is walking by the red carpet just like anybody else. And then you look up and you see Jackie Johnson Productions on YouTube, and she may have a clip that no one else got. That's powerful. You can do that as student journalists right now. I've seen students on the red carpet with their crews and with their cameras and everything like that. So that is really powerful. Social media marketing. I know all of you are social media butterflies, right? Social media marketing is a great way, obviously, to bring attention to your vision. Today, it's all about followers. Okay, followers equal eyeballs to advertisers, to studios, to networks, and they respond favorably to that, because that means those eyeballs are going to, you know, follow whatever they're trying to advertise. How many of you have heard of Black and Sexy TV? Wow, only 2 people, 3 people. Black and Sexy TV is started at, and it continues as an online premium subscription service, kind of like networks that started on YouTube. And they have created a slate of programming that focuses on young, progressive, Black audience, Black culture, basically. There's an audience who seeks a truer reflection of their modern culture, and they're bringing it. They're growing hugely on the level to become like Hulu, Netflix, etc. What they did was they used the YouTube infrastructure. They didn't try to recreate it. They were like, we're not trying to create all the technology. They used the infrastructure that's already in place to build their network. Now they are recognized as a real company with subscribership to prove it. And the subscribership, paying the $7, how many of you subscribe, do your Netflix and chill? Raise your hand. Mm-hmm. Yes, I did say Netflix and chill. You pay your $8. Well, Black and Sexy TV, you pay $7 for them. They have great programming. I mean, you guys can download that right now and check that out later. But the monetization that they get from their subscribership, that's monetizing future projects. And their budgets are really, really low, but their quality is really, really high. And what they're doing is they're building their library of content. Say content. Content is king. Say it loud, content. Content is king. So now there's no barrier between the network and the viewers. They're producing their own things, and they deliver the kind of content that their viewers want to see. There's a show on Black and Sexy called Sexless, and there's a character named Julian, and I saw this last week. He mentioned Dell State. Yes, he did. He mentioned Dell State. He was an actor, and I was like, did I hear that right? I was not familiar with Delaware State until Dr. Fran put it on the map for me. And I saw this episode before, but now that I knew that was coming here, I saw this episode again, and it just resonated with me. I was like, I'm gonna be there. This character was like, yeah, I learned my skills at Dell State. He said it 3 times, right? I'm like, I wonder if any of the kids at Dell State even know about this show or Black and Sexy TV. So if you get a chance, I want you to check it out. I was trying to find the clip to bring, but I couldn't find it. But I mean, essentially, it's really powerful what they are doing. So the social media platforms are extremely important, and they're viable avenues of marketing. So after 8 years online doing the YouTube thing that Black and Sexy TV was doing, they landed a deal last year at the last quarter of 2015 with BET Centric, where their content is being licensed and as programming for the network as Black and Sexy TV on BET. So now, if you've never seen Black and Sexy TV online, now late night, I think Wednesday and Thursdays, BET now is broadcasting their content as Black and Sexy TV. So they took, with minimal money, produced content, and now they landed a licensing deal. Licensing is where the network is paying them per episode to run their content, right? I'm gonna drive content in the wall for you guys. That is truly cracking the color code. I mean, look at journalists such as Melissa Harris Perry. She's powerful. She's a very powerful voice. She was recently let go at MS, but that's not a setback to me, that's a setup. I can't wait to see what her next move is gonna be, but she's powerful, outspoken. There's a blogger named Lovey Ajayi. She's a Nigerian writer, she's a friend of mine, she lives in Chicago. She has a very popular blog site. Anyone know of Awesomely Lovey? Have you ever heard of that? I hope you're writing some of this stuff down because you need to check it out. Awesomely Lovey. She is a blogger. She is recognized worldwide, and folks like Barbara Walters, Shonda Rhimes, these people are fans of her blog site. And she recently landed a publishing deal for her first book that's going to be coming out soon. So she uses her journalism background and the web as her platform. There's a gentleman by the name of Gil Robertson who founded the AAFCA, which is the African American Film Critics Association, which is giving shine to films of color, made by people of color. So not sitting back waiting for the academy like, oh, recognize us, please recognize us. No, recognizing ourselves. There's a gentleman by the name of Andrew Batchelor, better known as King Batch. Anybody know him? Yeah, a few people know him. King Batch is a Canadian-born Black American actor. He's an internet personality. He's a comedian. He is known for being the most followed person on Vine. How many of you Vine? You're trying to do what? You're trying to get those reloops, right. He's got millions of reloops, but he has 15, I went on his page last week, 15.3 million followers on Vine. So after a while, he's doing these Vines every day, and I heard his story. He said he was in between jobs, and he just committed, I'm gonna shoot a Vine every day, just a crazy Vine. And Vine, you know you have how much time? 6 seconds. Is it 6 or 7? 6 seconds. So every day he committed, I'm gonna shoot a Vine every single day. Well, his Vines became so popular, he became the king of Vine. After a while, companies like Coca-Cola, the big guys, they started approaching him saying, hey, can you put our product in your next Vine? So now they pay him to do his funny Vines while holding a Coca-Cola can or what have you. That is cracking the color code. That's huge. Do you understand that? They're paying him money just for 6 seconds to hold their product or to mention their product or hey, can we send you a car and you're gonna hop out of it? Sure, I'll take the car, okay? That is huge. This guy created it and that he's doing nothing that you can't do. You can do that right now yourself. If you say, I'm gonna do a positive, motivating Vine every single day. I'm gonna do a 6-second motivational pitch every day to the world. That could be huge. That could be popular. Who knows? The sky is the limit. So this guy also has over like 1.3 followers on Twitter. So now, as a comedian and as an actor who probably couldn't get arrested in an audition a couple years ago, now when he walks in the room, people sit up straight. Because when he walks in the room, he brings his crew with him, his 1.3 million followers with him. So executives recognize that. They were like, okay, if we have him in our movie, which he's gonna be in this movie that's coming out on Friday called Meet the Blacks, that co-stars Mike Epps and my friend Brescia Webb. They're counting on him. Make sure you tweet, because that's powerful. You guys have the power in your hands right now to influence the world. So truly, truly powerful, and it's really exciting what's going on that landscape. How am I on time? Am I good? Okay. Then you have people now, I have to brag a little bit. My brother, Bentley Evans. How many of you have ever seen the show Martin? When I came in the lobby, Martin was on the TV when you brought me up. My brother was the executive producer on Martin, and so funny because he's recognized. If nothing else, people know though. You saw Almody, you know that character. Have you seen that? The Almody, he did that character, but he was the executive producer of the show. He created the Jamie Foxx show, and he and I had the great opportunity to collaborate and bring our talents together as writers and producers to help develop the show that he created, Love That Girl, for TV1. Anyone familiar with Love That Girl? And it was TV1's first scripted series. And TV1 at the time didn't even know that they wanted to do scripted series. They were trying to just do all reality and like the unsungs and things of that sort. They did not think that they were ready to leap into scripted. But we had independently produced 4 episodes. Just took money, resources, the people that we knew, and we shot 4 independent episodes. We were able to get Tatiana Ali attached. We had casting. When I say balling on a budget, that's exactly what we were doing. We had a wing and a prayer, and we shot 4 independent episodes. And that's what ended up helping Bentley ultimately land the distribution deal through TV1. He said, here, try these 4 episodes. Just try them out. They've already shot, they're broadcast ready. And if you like them, if you like what you see, if it gets you the ratings, which are the eyeballs, then let's do a deal. And that's exactly what happened. And subsequently, we ended up shooting 68 episodes of Love That Girl. Didn't quite hit the 100 mark yet, but I know he's taking a meeting tomorrow at Netflix, so say a prayer, because that could be something that we might collaborate with Netflix to finish, to do the remaining number to get us to 100 episodes. Or Netflix may say, hey, you guys have 68 episodes. That's a lot of episodes. That's a lot of product on the shelf that we want to offer to our subscribers. So that's huge, okay? That's huge. Are you guys following me? Does this make sense? Is it fortifying your soul? I hope so. So, you know, in every major city, there are anchors, TV anchors of color in every major city. That makes me so happy. Growing up, I did not see that. You didn't see a lot of Black and Latino and Asian anchors. You didn't see it. But now in every market you go in, you know, that's very prevalent. Got to wrap it up a little bit? Okay. All right. Ooh, 7 minutes. Okay. So that's cracking the code. Now, I'm going to wrap this up really fast. There are new platforms emerging every day. And like I always like to say, like real estate needs houses to go on it. These platforms need content. Say content. Content. They need content to fill their day parts. It's really important. So you have a Hulu channel, you have this channel, you have this channel, but they will not thrive. They will not survive without having content. Listen, real quick, the response that you guys did, the Black students nationwide to the hashtag Stay Mad Abby, that you guys know that one? Oh, that gave me life this year. I was very proud of it. You know, it was basically a student who claimed that she was being denied admission because of lesser qualified candidates due to their race. And, you know, these students nationwide proved her wrong. Like, no, we did this, we got in because of our merit. And the rest of Twitter and social media just really, it just made it really powerful. And it made me proud as, you know, somewhat older citizen, because it was just like, you guys have the power in your hands. That's how you crack the code. So you learn the business of the business that you wish to be in. That's very important. Learn the business, the mechanics. Be authentic. We are innovators. Be innovators. Stay flexible. And I want to leave you with a simple word of encouragement. Leave your past where it belongs. Sure. Say that again. I'll give it to you. Leave your past where it belongs, in the past. Take life lessons learned from your past and apply it as you move forward. In your forward motion, approach each new day conscious of creative leaps you will be required to take in your next journey of life. My definition of a creative leap is to take an idea and make it real by forcefully springing forth that idea into action, getting off your feet, daring to land in a new and exciting phase of your life. Most importantly, embracing the innate creative ability that the Creator instills in us all. I want to leave you with 8 steps for taking the creative leap in your life. Are you ready? Oh, she said, hold on. They're recording this. So okay, she said, hold on. You guys ready? You don't sound ready. Are you ready? Yes. I came 3,000 miles away from California. Are you ready? Yes. There you, thank you. Number 1, say number 1. Number 1. Take a leap of faith over, take a leap of faith. You don't have to say everything. Take a leap of faith over those things not seen, but hoped for. Trust your soul and trust your struggle. You will struggle. You will struggle. Huh? Well, wait, let me finish with number 1. Trust your struggle. You are going to struggle, but trust it. Trust the timing of your life. Number 2. Say number 2. Number 2. Take a leap over fear. Okay? Understand the unknown. The unknown only has power if you give it power. So don't fear the unknown. Research it. Learn it. Know it. Then it will not be unknown or foreign to you. Number 3. Number 3. Thank you. Thank you. Leap out of your comfort zone and into the stratosphere. Embrace moving into your new season of life. That may require leaving some people in some ways that you operate in your past. Number 4. Oh, you dying? Number 4. Leap into an attitude of giving. Pay it forward by sharing your knowledge. Love, smiles, charity. Give of your time and your resources, which includes money, if you have that to give. The law of reciprocity is real. Give, and it shall be given unto you when you least expect it. Give friendship. Give PMA, positive mental attitude. Number 5. Don't leap alone. I love your attitude right there, that energy. Don't leap alone. Find a creative confidant and outlet. Like-minded individuals, because iron will sharpen iron. A wellspring of support and encouragement. There is absolutely no room for negativity in your space or in your mind. She's like, testify. Find individuals who will encourage, not discourage. That's really important. Not belittle, oh, you trying to do your little thing? You trying to do your little journalism? You trying to do your little film? No, squash that, okay? Because what you're trying to pursue is real. Number 6, leap into your personal best. Only you know what your personal best is, so your goals should lead you into the direction of constantly becoming a better you. Number 7, leap into yourself. Visualize yourself and manifest the desired outcome. In other words, see it, visualize it, believe it. Remember I said I was sitting at home in Silver Spring and said, I'm going home to write for Moesha. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but I got out there somehow, okay? It's not necessarily about how fast you can materialize your vision. It's simply about seeing that idea from start to finish. If the creative idea causes you to think about it all the time, if it disturbs your sleep, consumes your mind, and you've already seen the end result mentally, that idea is worth exploring, because where there is vision, there is provision. And number 8, leap today. Life is short. Leave a dash legacy. Do you know what that is? You are born and then you die. What are you doing with the dash in between? A 24-hour period should not be consumed with tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised to you. Make plans, set goals, be wise in preparation, but live the fullest every moment within 24-hour period. If you spend 12 hours worrying about tomorrow and suddenly die tomorrow, what a waste. You wasted half the day. The things worrying your mind, heart, and soul really don't matter, because when you're gone, you're gone. Don't worry about things you ultimately have no control over. An old Bobby McFerrin song reminds us, don't worry, be happy. So I want you to do this pledge, and then I'm going to sit down. From this day forth, I need you to stand up. Stand up. Yeah, stretch those legs. You ready to take the creative leap pledge? All right. From this day forth, I will tap into my own creativity. Applying it to every area of my life. As a student, a leader, in my family, community, and relationships. In my visions and communication. I will constantly take creative leaps, landing in uncharted territory. Except on my neighbor's foot, because that would be painful. But fearless, because there is power in my creativity. Therefore I leap. That was good. Remember the song you learned as a child, head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes? Well, I want you to remember to leap forward with your head in the game, ready to shoulder all of life's challenges, using your knees to help you bear the weight of the world, and your toes to propel you forward as you strut by faith and not by sight. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Crack the color code in media. The world is waiting for you all, and the next episode is in your hands. Thank you very much for the standing ovation. Thank you very much.